Today we're going to be taking a look at the Amutorch XT45 NB90.16 version, which is a really high output light with a max output of over 10,000 lumens, and it's one of the brightest single 2100 cell lights on the market. So if you want a light with a ton of lumens that's priced quite affordably considering the performance, this is going to be a light that you don't want to miss. And before we dive in and check out the light and take a look at some beam shots, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The body of the XT45 is made from aluminum alloy, and it's nothing too special and reflects the modest price point of the light, and it reminds me a lot of the Astrolux EC01, but it does seem reasonably durable, and it's got an IPX8 rating and a 1 meter impact resistance. There's a rubber side switch which gives you access to 2 different mode sets, which we'll touch on a bit later in the video, and there's no charging port on the light, so you'll need to have your own to use the light, and it runs on a 21700 flat top lithium ion battery, and you can pick up one of these with the Amutorch branding. The XT45 has a smooth stainless steel bezel and a relatively wide and deep orange peel style reflector, but the most intriguing feature is the NB90.16 de-domed emitter. Basically what we've got here are 16 individual dies together on a single substrate arranged in a cube, and together they combine to produce an overpowering 10,600 lumens, which is very impressive for a light this size. Now we're going to take a look at some beam shots so you can get a better idea of how this light performs. We're going to start off on turbo, and right out of the gates the performance here is really impressive, and it's got a relatively wide and intense hotspot that's great for spotting things at long distances, and a max throw distance of about 593 meters. The initial output is very tremendous, and this is one of the most powerful lights that I've ever used, and definitely one of the highest output lights in the single 21700 cell class, and it's quite a lot of fun to use, and you're going to have a tough time finding a light this size with a higher output. The beam angle is medium sized, and the color temperature is on the cooler side, and after a few seconds of use you do definitely notice this light starting to heat up, but the output does drop down substantially over the course of about 30 seconds to a level that's closer to being sustainable. Here's a look at this light on its lowest output setting on the variable output mode, and the output and runtime specs are not stated, but it's a decent mode for close-up tasks, and it would be interesting to see a true moonlight mode here with longer runtimes. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison between the XT45 and the XT60, which both have the same emitter, but the XT60 has a much larger head and it's designed to be more of a thrower, but overall many of the other specs and features are quite similar. The XT60 has a slightly higher output and a much tighter hotspot and is better designed for throwing, and the XT45 would be much better suited for mid-range use, but overall they are both really fun lights, and I'll be publishing a review on the XT60 shortly. There's 2 different mode sets on this light, including a step mode set with 4 different output modes and a strobe mode, and there's also a variable output mode set which gives you more precise control over the output, and it also allows you to access a much lower output setting compared to the stepped output mode sets. These step mode sets are really close together and don't make a whole lot of sense, and this is definitely an area that could use some improvement. This light is priced at about $74.99 including a battery, and these are in stock on my website at goodnightgearshop.com, and you can save 10% off with the coupon code US10. And if you want to learn more about it or pick one up, you can find a link down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for a review of the XT60, which will be linked to down in the description as well.